Did you know that SZA once admitted she doesn't feel famous, she just feels watched? I bet you didn't realize that even after breaking records, earning Grammy nominations, and becoming one of the most recognizable voices in music today, she still battles the urge to disappear. She's the soundtrack to breakups, self-love, growth, insecurity, and healing. But behind every lyric, behind every sold-out show and viral performance, there's a reality no one talks about. On the outside, it looks like SZA is thriving. But if you listen closely, not just to her words, but the space between them, you'll hear something else. Because being this raw in an industry this demanding doesn't come without pain. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and explore what the fame, pressure, and perfectionism have really cost her. This is why it sucks to be SZA. SZA is known for her honesty. She doesn't just write about love, she writes about being insecure in love. She doesn't just talk about heartbreak, she talks about comparing herself to the other woman, obsessing over exes, and wondering if she's even worth loving in the first place. From Ctrl to SOS, her lyrics feel like text messages never sent, or late-night journal entries whispered into a pillow. That's what makes her music powerful, and what makes her life exhausting. Because when you build your career on vulnerability, the public begins to expect pain. Fans love when she's raw. But what they don't consider is what it takes to stay that way. There's pressure to keep bleeding on the page. And once you've shared that much, people start to think they own your emotions. Imagine crying into a song, releasing it, and then watching people quote it on Instagram, remix it on TikTok, or mock it in memes. Her heartbreak becomes our content. Her insecurity becomes our aesthetic. But for SZA, that's her real life. And reliving it over and over with the world watching isn't catharsis, it's emotional burnout. SZA doesn't fit into a genre, and for an artist, that should be freeing. But in the music industry, freedom is risky. Labels don't always know how to market artists who don't fit neatly into a category. She's not R&B in the traditional sense, not pop in the mainstream sense, not soul in the vintage sense. She's SZA, and that's confused people since the beginning. Her debut album, Ctrl, faced multiple delays, not because she wasn't ready, but because the label wasn't. There were creative disagreements, hesitation, miscommunication. At one point, she even said she was quitting music because the process was so mentally draining. But the problem isn't just the system, it's the pressure to succeed in spite of the system. When SOS finally dropped, it smashed records and silenced doubters. But the pain it took to get there didn't vanish. And now that she's proven she can deliver, the expectations are even heavier. Being an artist who defies labels sounds empowering until those same labels hold the keys to your future. One of the most underrated facts about SZA is this: she's a perfectionist, and when perfectionism meets fame, things get complicated fast. She's known for obsessing over every detail of her music, changing verses last minute, re-recording songs multiple times, feeling like it's never good enough, no matter how much fans love it. Even after SOS became a cultural moment, she admitted she wasn't fully happy with the final product. She felt like she didn't have enough time to polish everything. She kept saying, "I just want people to like it," even as critics praised it. That constant second-guessing, it's not just artistic, it's personal. Because for someone like SZA, music isn't a product, it's her. And when your sense of worth is tied to how well people receive you, not just your work, every comment, every review, every missed note becomes an existential crisis. Add to that the social media culture where tweets are screenshots, posts are analyzed, and every word is weaponized, and you've got a recipe for mental overload. It's not just about making great music. It's about surviving the mental warfare that follows it. Let's talk about something SZA never signed up for: becoming a symbol of beauty standards and a target of them. When Ctrl came out, she was hailed as natural, refreshing, just like us. But as her image evolved, makeup, style, body transformation,
So did the commentary. Suddenly, she was accused of changing too much. People speculated about plastic surgery. Fans debated whether she was being true to herself. Entire Reddit threads analyzed her face like it was public property. It didn't matter that her artistry remained intact. The public narrative was shifting. And here's the double standard. When she was natural, people praised her because she didn't fit the mold. When she started experimenting with her look, they accused her of selling out. You're either too real or too fake, too raw or too curated, too open or too mysterious. No matter what she does, she's on the wrong side of someone's opinion. And for a woman who sings about body image, self-doubt, and emotional survival, the constant analysis of her appearance hits deeper than people think. We love SZA's sadness. Her heartbreak songs become anthems. Her pain becomes our comfort. But that's where the problem begins. The more fans fall in love with her sadness, the more she's expected to deliver it. It's like people want her to stay broken, so the music stays relatable. Songs like Nobody Gets Me, Special, and Ghost in the Machine aren't just tracks, they're therapy sessions. But therapy isn't supposed to be broadcasted and judged. And yet, that's what happens. SZA pours her heart out, and people remix it into TikTok skits or say "me AF" while ignoring the weight of the words. Even when she tries to shift into more confident, empowered music, people complain, saying it's not the same. That's the trap. When your pain becomes your brand, healing feels like betrayal. And that's a terrifying place to be. SZA isn't just making music, she's making history. As a Black woman dominating the charts with emotional complexity, genre-bending art, and vulnerable storytelling, she's become a symbol. But symbols are heavy. Fans want her to represent confidence, softness, Black femininity, emotional freedom, spiritual evolution, and more, all at once. She's expected to be everything: an icon, a role model, a healing presence, a lyrical genius, a style icon, a feminist, a rebel. And if she ever steps out of that box, if she's too quiet, too angry, too messy, people are quick to criticize. Being a symbol of liberation can feel like a prison when the expectations are this high. And for SZA, who never claimed to be perfect, it's an impossible standard to live under. SZA is one of the most important artists of our time, not just because she makes beautiful music, but because she dares to be honest in a world addicted to filters. She tells the truth, even when it's ugly, even when it hurts, even when it means people will judge her for it. That kind of bravery is rare, and it comes at a price. So yes, it looks amazing to be SZA. She's talented, successful, magnetic. But the truth, it also sucks to be her. Because when you live with your heart on your sleeve, you invite both love and judgment. When your pain becomes public property, healing becomes harder. And when the world demands more and more of your soul, you have to fight every day to protect what's left of it. So if you love her music, take a moment to appreciate the human behind it, the woman who's still figuring things out, still searching for peace, still learning to breathe in a world that rarely lets her. This is why it sucks to be SZA. Not because she's broken, but because she's real. And in a world like this, real is the hardest thing to be.